Yo, this is Gyromancer here, and today we are going to be taking a look at Renegade X. Renegade X is the first-person slash third-person command and conquer shooter that is currently in beta phase 3. For those of you who are familiar with Command and Conquer, Renegade X takes a lot of inspiration from the original Command and Conquer Renegade. A few similar things between Renegade X and Command and Conquer are the two factions, GDI and Nod, the harvestable resource, Tiberium, and buildings such as the Obelisk of Light. If you aren't familiar with Command and Conquer games, I'll give you a small summary. Both teams start in identical bases that have a few buildings inside of them. Each building gives each team perks such as extra character classes, weapons, aircraft, ground vehicles. In order to take advantage of these perks, you must use resource points, which you slowly gain over time. This slow tick of points usually isn't enough, so each base has a refinery and a harvester. The harvester is an automated vehicle that moves on a set path between the refinery and a patch of Tiberium, which is the source of resource points. Players must protect the harvester as it leaves the base and harvest Tiberium and then escort it back to the refinery. Once at the refinery, a harvester drops off its load of Tiberium, giving all players on that team a large amount of resource points. The goal of the game is to go to the enemy base and take down all their buildings, or to have the most points when the timer ends. Points are gained from kills, repairs, destroying buildings, etc. As buildings in each base are taken down, then the team loses the perks that the buildings give them. When it comes to the gameplay cycle, the game usually starts out with mostly infantry play while everybody is storing up their resource points. Later in the game, however, gameplay primarily revolves around vehicle gameplay as each team attempts to lay down heavy damage on each other's buildings in order to destroy them. Despite late game mostly being vehicle gameplay, infantry play remains viable as players are able to set down nukes or ion blasts that are able to one-shot a building, but the package that these targets weapons must use in order to shoot them down on a building must be guarded for 60 seconds in order for them to go off. The two teams consisted of two opposing factions, the Nod and the GDI. The Nod are the rebels who have experimental weaponry including various cloaking devices and laser weapons. The GDI are the standard military faction who specialize in heavy-hitting ground vehicles. I mentioned earlier that Renegade X is a first-person slash third-person shooter. The third-person view is a MOBA style in that you are mostly looking down on your character rather than games like Warframe where you're looking over your character's shoulder. Both views are fun to play, but I personally prefer first-person because I can't aim as well when I'm in third-person view. The third-person view is useful though if you are just running through a field and you need to get a wide view of the area so you can know where to go. The graphics look fairly good, but aren't anything you expect from CryEngine or any other large-name title. You have to keep in mind that the game is made by a few fans of the original game, and they aren't being paid to create the game. The menu and the character selection scene looks nice and clean and doesn't have anything extra that you wouldn't need. In terms of overall feel, Renegade X has an arcadey feel to it, similar to playing Unreal Tournament on large maps that have lots of vehicles. Shooting someone doesn't feel the same as shooting someone in a modern shooter, mainly due to the fact that there isn't a large amount of recoil. Since the game is in beta, there are a few things that are issues. Occasionally when you switch weapons, your weapon doesn't render, and so you will see your hand reloading an invisible weapon. You can fix this by switching to a different weapon and back again, but it is annoying. There is a single-player mode called Skirmish, but the multiplayer is mainly where it is at since the bots aren't really very great. There's a lot more to the game, such as the various classes and vehicles, but my goal here isn't to give you a complete guide to the game, so we have reached the final question, which I alluded to earlier, the payment model. Renegade X is a completely free game, and there are no in-game purchases whatsoever, so if you'd like to play Renegade X, just head over to their website. I'll leave a link in the description below, and you can go download it and install it for free. That about wraps up this video. If you all enjoyed, leave a like and possibly a comment if you have something to share, and also check out my last first impressions video in which we take a look at Toxic. Thanks for watching. Later.